Good morning. It is April 29th here in Nova Scotia. We just had our election last night, so what a great time to get out in the garden and become more self-sufficient. My beautiful dog is sitting here, Skipper. So I'll just preface by saying I have not done any garden work yet. The only thing I did was last night my husband roughed up some ground for me with that excavator. But nothing's been touched yet. This is raw, unedited. This is a starting point. So I have, I think, around a 2,500 square foot garden here. And we grow quite a few vegetables and some fruit. And yeah, so I will take you through what's growing right now. And this will be a shorter garden tour than usual because it's more making plans than it is things that are actually growing. So I'll start here in the beginning. This is my little entry. I'm actually thinking of changing this out because I can't get these posts drove in far enough to get past the frost line. So after it's been here for a couple years, we've got quite a lean on her. So thinking of replacing that with a metal structure I have here. So everything is a mess. I think I said that already, right? So this is my flower garden. So this is outside of the fence, which is just a plastic fencing that I do to kind of keep more animal creatures out than anything else. So over here is poppies. There's not really too much coming up yet. There are a few popping through here and there. A lot of these have just been scattered seeds. This was hollyhocks that were here last year. So there's likely a few of those. Calendula was here, chamomile. And then down at this end was a little tidier. This is where I more planted some annual flowers. I had zinnias and cosmos and sunflowers. That's kind of how I'll do the same thing this year as well. There's a beer can there. This is Silver Mound. This is from my nanny's house. This traveled all around with me to different homes till it found a permanent spot here, and it's growing in very nicely. I actually split this in half last year and gave half to my mom, and it still has plenty of room. Hey, get out of the garlic. No, get out of the garden. I've got the fence down so the dog thinks that he has free roam. This is just a little storage shed here. We used to keep our kids' toys in it, but they're kind of outgrowing that. Some perennial herbs that haven't really started waking up yet. There's mint in here, and that's some winter savory. These I just dug out last night. This is oregano that I just don't want in the garden. I have oregano elsewhere, but I didn't want it growing all through. So I'll kind of take you through the rows. I might as well start here since this is where I am. These are all strawberries I just transplanted last year. I had one row of strawberries, which is filling in very nicely. And around November, I transplanted to be a second row. So these are about 25-foot rows by 3 feet wide. And I left the ones in the pathway in the middle, so I'm just going to make this a huge strawberry patch. And I just transplanted these out last night. These are second-year leeks, so these were leeks I grew last year that overwintered. So I'm hoping to get seeds off of them. I think I planted 8 throughout the bed. Some chives here. These just grew here probably from drop seeds, and so I just left them. They're actually one of my healthiest chive piles. So yeah, strawberries are coming in really nicely. This was a $25 pack of bare root strawberries that I got from Walker's here in Dartmouth with some weeds. I haven't done any weeding, haven't touched it. My fence is all down because I had it ripped down to take down the excavator. This is the start of my squash tunnel, which I'm going to do a video on when I get it completed. This row is all garlic. This was planted in early November, I believe. I usually plant right around, pretty handy to Halloween. This did have mulch on it, but almost all the mulch is blown off. So altogether we have 3 25-foot rows of garlic. It's pretty handy to 1,000 garlic. I'm thinking of eliminating this bed beside the greenhouse this year, just to elongate my pathway a little bit. My idea is perhaps to eliminate these 2 beds and change it into 3-foot beds. I do find the 4-foot beds hard for me to reach. This is my $100 greenhouse, holding up very nicely. I just did a seedling tour a few days ago. So they've all been living in here. I did cover them last night. It got down. We had a light frost this morning. I left the house at 5:30 and I did have to use the old windshield washer. Didn't have to get out the scraper though. So everything is doing fine out here. These will probably be planted out mostly next week. Anything I'm keeping, and then I'll just keep on whatever I'm using for seedlings. And then I have some celery downstairs. I think I'm going to start hardening off this weekend. So exciting times. Things are starting to move. So this is just all the dirt from pots that were in the greenhouse. I just left them over the winter. They had peppers in them. I'm not going to grow peppers in the greenhouse again this year because I forget to water them. This is some garlic I forgot to pull over here, or did just missed or whatever. So I'm going to try to intersperse that if I have any bare spots, or I might just give it away. So garlic. Yeah, about 1,000 garlic. This is mostly weeded. I do have a few things I'll have to come through. I see a dandelion there. So this area, this was 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 rows. This is where I grew my garlic last year, but the rows ended about here. So it was 4 16 by beds. This year I have 3 25-foot beds. So these beds had wood around them. They were, I guess, technically raised beds. There's some of the wood there. There's another bed back there, and I will reuse those. So the thought is I bought some weed barrier, and it's what they use in commercial growing. I bought it from, I might have to insert the name, Dubois Agriculture. I think they're out of Quebec or maybe northern New Brunswick. I'll have to look it up. I haven't tried it yet, but it was recommended to me by a commercial grower here in Nova Scotia that does microgreens. So I want to weed and scrape this whole area and then lay down that as an experiment. If it works well, I'll be using more of it going forward, but I wanted to test it out in a manageable patch first. This is about 20 by 25. So about 500 square feet. Oh, the little bird just went underneath the excavator. This is my husband's newest toy. So if you watch any of my videos, you see how much money we save on groceries, and I'm always trying to pinch pennies everywhere. And so we saved up cash to buy this mini excavator so we can do some work around the property. I think it actually works out cheaper. This is about $8,000. I think it works out cheaper than renting. Sorry, I want to make sure that truck wasn't coming in the driveway because my dog's sitting in the driveway. $8,000, and we can put as many hours on it as we want. And he doesn't have a lot of free time. Now I'm going to learn how to use this too, but I'm going to let him have his fun first. So he doesn't have a time to set a week aside to use it. So I think this was going to work out better for us. I'm excited about it. I think it's a good investment for us, and we can always resell it when we are done. So he came through here last night, and he didn't use the bucket. There's like a little plow on front. And just instead of tilling, we thought that might be faster. And he didn't get down to this row yet. We ran out of light. So my plan today is to get through here and get as many weeds as I can and kind of make this look nice. I just let the weeds go crazy here last year. My garlic was planted here, and then by the time I pulled up the garlic, I was kind of over garden maintenance. So that's planned for here. So then we'll have 4 25-foot rows. This is where I plan on planting my tomatoes, my beans, my cabbages, peppers, zucchini. So this would be a bulk of our food in this quadrant. And yeah, he didn't do anything over here yet, but I'm really hoping the weed fabric helps, because the garden is actually getting to be to a point where I find it a little bit unmanageable for just me, because this is my domain, and in the height of summer I tend to get lazy. So then those beds are going to end, well, right where this mound of dirt is, all the way across. And then I'm going to configure these beds a little bit. I'm thinking of getting rid of this peach tree, but I may just make a bed around it and keep it for one more year, because I'm seeing lots of buds on it. I'll go a little closer. Anyway, I'd like to have it be, so there's a bed there, 1, 2, 3, 4 beds, and then 5 beds on this row. So I've got this all written down, but there's going to be some, I'm going to grow corn here, sorghum. I think I have 2 beds for beets because I want to do more pickled beets. All right, I gotta go save my dog from himself. This dog, man, he's tangled around every possible thing, and now my hens are laying eggs, so you're gonna have to deal with them squawking in the background too. The other thing that's going here, I'm gonna do about 4 beds of potatoes. That's should be a year's supply for us, or has been in the past. And I'm gonna do peas on this trellis. I have a lot of weeds that need to be pulled. I have a lot of this Bermuda grass, quack grass, whatever you call it. This is just some overwinter kohlrabi. This would go to seed if I let it, but I'm gonna rip it out. So a lot of these beds were properly, I'd say, shut down. I just covered them in mulch, weeded them, covered them in mulch, but this grass is ferocious. So I'm gonna do what I can. Start getting these cleared out. I'm not gonna get this all done today. I'm gonna concentrate on this area behind me. This is my rhubarb. This I started from seed probably 5 years ago. I moved it here last year, and I also split it. So this didn't look as good last year, but it is looking a little bit better now. Oh, it's so messy over here. It's really triggering something in me, but it just means I have some work to do. The weather has not been the best. This rock bordered garden, I'm going to use one of these wooden structures just to define it a little bit better. This over here is what I call my Charlie garden. It's just perennial shade loving plants. I don't know what survived over there because I never did take them out of the pots, so I might have to do some repurchasing. Yeah, potatoes. If you want to see an actual garden plan, I do have one that I posted, I believe, in January. So yeah, this is a better look of that trellis. So I just cut it in half, and I put some just old hinges on it. This way I can get it up and down myself. And I did find peas and beans were having a hard time climbing it, so I just added some of that. It's the same stuff that's on the fence. 2 beds over here. I feel like 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I gotta look. I don't remember what I have planned for what. This is the outside look of that greenhouse. So yeah, I think I'm gonna eliminate this bed, and then eventually, maybe next year, yeah, I'd say next year, these 2 rows here will continue right back to here. I'm trying to create as much area that is 3-foot beds as possible, because I just find it so much easier to work in. Get out of there. You're all twisted up again. Is it a border collie trait to always want to be right beside the human that walks you? Because mine certainly does. Back here are chives. I started from seed. There's garlic chives and onion chives. Garlic chives are a little bit flatter. These actually look all like onion chives. But those are coming up nicely. I could actually harvest those very soon. This is a little tiny bed I put here because this is quite a bit of a slope. and all my dirt was running down the slope. So I just kind of put a little intermediate bed here. Originally, I thought this was going to become a cold frame, but once again, I don't do well with cold frames or greenhouses because I forget to water them. Last year, I put garlic bulbs here, and I was supposed to dig them up, and I never did. I started to, and I never did finish. So they're starting to come up again. So I'm just going to dig these up in the fall and see what size they are. This is just like the garlic seeds that come if you let them go to flower. And then back here I have perennials. These are hascaps. They are starting to leaf out quite nicely. So 1, 2, 3. I have 3 that I bought, and then I split 2 pieces off of those. I might potentially be even able to split that one as well. I just mound the soil up around so it creates roots. And then I had a couple of ground cherries here last year, and I heard they self-seed really easily. So we'll see what comes up. I'm not seeing anything that looks like ground cherries as of yet, but they do take a long time to sprout. But anyway, lots of weeding needs to be done back here. This is all raspberry canes that I didn't move. So this is currently like an influx area. Actually, here, I'll show you the asparagus first. These 3 beds, 1, 2, 3, are asparagus. I don't think I have asparagus popping yet, but I do have a lot of weeds. These beds did not get touched in the fall, and I'm kind of regretting it. But I find asparagus is really prone to weeds, but you can't really mulch it. Because if you mulch it, the asparagus just get eaten by slugs. So I thought about maybe trying to take a blowtorch to all these, or I might just try to tease out all the weeds by hand. I don't see any asparagus coming up. All right, so I'm gonna swing you around and I'll face the other way so I can show you what I mean about this garden back here. All right, so from where I'm standing here, you can see facing the other way. So the road is down there. So all this area here, I think I'm turning all into raspberry beds. Currently, we use this door to take our dog out, but I'm thinking of putting a set of steps on this side and blocking off across here, as I have a ton of raspberry canes coming up everywhere, and I love raspberries. So these 3 are raspberry beds already that I put in last year. We got some raspberries off of them, but not many. And they are starting to bud out. So we should have a healthy harvest here of raspberries. But I'm thinking of extending, these beds back. All 3 beds, extending them back to where I'm currently standing. And then I think I'm going to put another bed along here. This is what I'm intending on using this garden bed for, is to add a bed here. Now I do need to put some cardboard down, and this is quite a project back here, and it's a mess because this is where my dog comes and plays all the time. All right, so we're even closer to the chicken coop now. This is more perennial herbs. I grow them up here because they can be a bit of bullies. There's 2 squirrels up in this tree. It's going crazy. Even the wildlife's against me. So this is perennial herbs. This is a sage bush. I have some perennial onions, thyme, lemon balm, winter savory, and there's also bee balm in here. But this all needs to be cleaned out, and then I can see what's actually in here that actually lived through the winter. This is an arch I put up last year, which I'm going to be taking down because we're going to put a quail cage up here. Meat birds are a little bit scarce this year because of avian influenza, mostly in the States. So we're going to do quail. We dabbled in them last year. And then I put a blackberry cane in here last year, a little $10 cane. And it is already expanded quite a bit. And this is a thornless blackberry. It is waking up. Yeah, and it has actually taken root on that side as well. So I should be able to split this vine and maybe plant another piece there. I wouldn't mind if this whole area was blackberries, especially thornless ones. This is places we want to get through with that excavator and tidy up. It'd be nice if we could actually mow or something up here, instead of it just being a disgrace all the time. There is the chickens. They will be getting a makeover too this year. We have 10 hens, so that's what we plan on keeping. Oh, everything's a mess. This is a grapevine. I've taken cuttings off of this already. Okay, and here, just along the woodshed, I have some lupins growing. These are just from roadside collected seeds, and they're starting to fill in quite nicely. All right, so lots of work in progress. Hopefully, I'll be able to bring you back in a month for another garden tour, and this will look vastly different and much more cleaned up. So the thing with doing everything with free supplies is your yard kind of takes the brunt of the collecting of materials. Actually, I'll turn you around. These are fence posts or fence panels that I got from a friend of mine as well for free, and we're planning on using that for part of our dog fencing in the back. So yeah, that's in our yard. We've got a half completed tunnel. There's wood everywhere. Yeah, it's a mess over here. But we probably have about 2 weeks until the mosquitoes start, or the black flies. It's the black flies you have to worry about. We probably have about 2 weeks before the black flies start. So, yeah, I've got a lot to do in 2 weeks. It'll probably be closer to the end of the month before a lot of this stuff gets completed. But it's just, you just got to put in the time. I got my dog sitting here in the background because he would not stop barking. And look, now I'm beside him and he's happy as can be. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you want to see how much progress we make in the next 4 weeks, I'll do another garden tour. What's today? Today is the 29th. Let's pencil in a garden tour for May 29th. So I'll see you then. And in the meantime, I'll still be showing my grocery hauls. I will still be sharing all the different ways I save money. Lots of videos coming up. All right. Thanks so much for spending the morning with me. And I hope you're having a great day. Bye now.